Okay, welcome guys. Welcome to our class here in ESci 122, your computer-aided drafting. And on the previous lessons that you have, I think you have already discussed with Ma'am Lindy the history of computer-aided drafting, and I hope that you have learned a lot of things from her discussion. And on the previous meeting, Ma'am Bea also had discussed to you some of the important features of AutoCAD, especially on how to open your AutoCAD, on how to browse the parts of the AutoCAD, and she also had taught you on how to zoom and pan your workspace. So for this lesson, I will be assuming that all of you already have installed your AutoCAD application, because today we will now be working with the AutoCAD interface. And especially for this lesson, we will now draw some objects, these basic objects that we already know, and draw it in our CAD workspace. So guys, for this lecture, I am currently at the engineering building here in the College of Engineering. I bet all of you haven't yet visited here. So, no, this is your College of Engineering, and welcome to our college. And if magbalik ta sa tong klase, then you are welcome to have a stroll here. So for the goal of this lesson, actually you should be able to, again, draw these following objects in your AutoCAD. Number one is your line. Well, of course, that is very basic, no? Another is polyline, circle, arc, rectangle, polygon, and ellipse. So those 7 basic objects, that is the goal for this lesson. We should be able to draw those 7 basic objects. And let's have a brief review of what Ma'am Bea has taught to you on the last meeting. Now, as you have already opened your AutoCAD program, you are now currently on your workspace. And Ma'am Bea has taught you how to zoom your drawing or the workspace. So for example, I have an object. I have a rectangle right here. And in order to zoom in or to zoom out on this rectangle, unsa ganito inyong buhaton, either you will type the command zoom, or there is a very easier alternative. Ang imo lang buhaton is to use the scroll in your mouse, and when you go down, when you scroll down, your drawing will zoom out. And when you scroll up, your drawing will zoom in. Okay, so that is very basic, ani, diba? And now, how about pan? Unsa gani ang gamit sa pan? Para dili tagutomon. Para natay pagkaon. Para natay essential foods. Okay. Charot, diba? Pero ang pan, as what Ma'am Bea has discussed on the last meeting, basically, you just want to move, to navigate your drawing on whatever side you want. All you have to do, naiduha ka technique. First is to type pan. Or to type shorter, you can just press type P and then enter. And you have a pan. And you're going to use your left click in order to move your drawing. And there is also a shortcut of this one. So if you have, again, a scroll wheel on your mouse, just click on that scroll wheel and then it will automatically pan your drawing. Okay? It can move from whatever direction you want. Now, I think Ma'am Bea has forgot to teach you this one. Unsaon pag-select og object. Inig makabantay siguro mo, inig move sa tong mouse unya kung ato click ang left click. Makikita mo ani. So that is a selection tool. And as you can notice, there is a green and blue. What is the difference between that green and blue colors? So when you say green, all you have to do, ang ako gibuhat karon, nag-left click ko. Ako lang gi-click ha. Take note, ako lang gi-click, wala na ako gi-long press. Gi-click na ako, and then i-move ko. So, nakaya mo ko rectangle. Because if I'm going to long press this one, ang mahitabo, ing-ani siya. Pero, kung imo lang gani i-click, and then buhion, rectangle ang imo maporma. Okay? So, take note of that. And now, ngano gani ning green o blue? Balik ta sa green o blue nga problem. So, basically, again, these are selection tools. And sa atong green, once gani ang atong object, mo-touch sa atong green nga rectangle, ma-select siya. Okay? So, take note, tanawa dire, examples lang ni ha, I assume dili pa mo kibaw mag-drawing og circles or rectangles. So, let's just see, green ako and bisag nag-touch lang ko anang akong mga objects dira, wala na cover ang whole ng object, mo select gyapon sila. Okay? Ang atong blue, kung mo-touch lang ta sa object, gamit atong blue, dili siya mo-select. What we need to do is to cover the whole object in order for those objects to be selected. So, naa sila gamit ang green o blue. Ang blue, kung for example, you only want to select this rectangle, ang imo gamiton, imo i-blue, i-highlight lang ang kanang rectangle, and then that rectangle will be selected. Pero again, kung green ang imong gamiton, i-select lang nimong kanang gamit nga rectangle, then everything will be selected. So, question, sir, giyon sa man to nimo pag green o pag blue? Sa amo man lagi kay green ra kanunay, sa amo napoy usay ma-blue siya. So, ingani lang mahitabo para mo green ang atong pag-highlight. Para mo green ang atong pag-highlight, mo click ta, unya, ato i-move ang atong mouse pa left. Okay? So, kung pa left ang imo pag-move sa mouse, gikan sa imo pag-click, you will see a green nga highlight sa rectangle. But, if you are going to move on the right side of where you have clicked, then, there you can see a blue highlight. That's it. That's easy. So, mao to. That is very important, especially as we are going to draw later on. And now, let's draw two-dimensional objects that I have mentioned earlier. First thing, always remember this one. When making commands, unsa man ang mga commands, ang kanang mga commands, mao nang imong mga isulti sa computer kung unsa imong ganahan na ipabuhat niya. Ganahan ka magpahimog line, ang line, command na. Ganahan ka magpahimog circle, ang circle, command na. Okay? So, always take note, whenever you are going to make commands, always read the command bar. I think Ma'am Bea already have told you asa dapit ang command bar diha sa atong AutoCAD interface. And that is this one. This one right here. Okay? So, nakamagnet na siya sa ubos usually. That is your command bar. So, whenever you are going to make commands, always look at that bar because there are steps that will be asked to you kung unsay ang imong ganahan buhaton. And that is what we are going to do right now when we are going to draw these 2D objects that I will be discussing to you. First, adto ta sa line. So, how do you draw a line? This is the most basic nga kuan siguro command nga imong buhaton diri sa AutoCAD, and mao siguro po niya ang pinaka useful po nga kanunay nimo magamit nga command. Let's first define a line. A line is basically a straight one-dimensional figure, and usually it has no thickness. And it is described to be the shortest. Take note of this one. It is the shortest distance between 2 points. Because, diba, we already knew that a line is defined by 2 points. So, if we have 2 points and we will connect that 2 points, we can create a line. So, basically, when you are going to create a line diri sa atong AutoCAD, you will be asked for 2 points. Na, ato kitaon. how can we command AutoCAD to draw a line? Okay, ang atong AutoCAD, di raman siya automatic nga maghimo siya line og iya, no? Kita may magbuot kung asa dapit padung ang atong line. So, mangutan na dyan ang atong AutoCAD kung unsaon na to pag-draw ang line. Sige, ato sa ta, unsaon na to pag-command og line. There are 3 steps. There are 3 ways. There are 3 ways for you to make a line sa AutoCAD. First is, ang siguro, ang pinakagamiton sa mga beginners, at mutanaw siya dito sa ribbon, mutanaw siya diri sa draw panel, and na siya nakitaan nga line. You can use that. So, when you're going to click that line there, then your command bar will automatically ask you to specify your first point. Pero di sa tamo pa dayon diha, kay naapatay line mga paagi unsa ang paghimog line. Another way is to type in the command line. And then as you enter that one, you are now on the line command. Then you are still asked for the same question diha sa imong command line. Another one, the most shortcut one and the most widely used sa kanang mga professional na nga drawers, nga nahunos, professional nga drafters, we have L. And then enter. Sir, wala na lagi ka nag-hover sa imong cursor dito sa command line. You can just actually type immediately. Bisag di na ka mo click dito sa command line. Look at what I'm doing. Nag-L lang ko, and then enter. And then, you are asked on the same question. So, another question. Sir, naalagay na nag-uban-uban sa imong cursor kanang specify first point, o niya, 3.87. Kami lagi, sir, wala lagi may ingana. Ang uban siguro na, ang uban wala. That is what you call dynamic input, in which you will always be given kanang the exact nga mga coordinates aning imong pag-hover sa imong mouse. Okay, so dynamic ang iyang pagpakita sa values. So if you want to have that one, kay wala ka diha sa imong computer, just type DYNMODE. And then enter. And then you are going to type a value. 0, 1, 2, 3. I don't know nga nung na 3. I don't know nga nung may abotog 3, pero you only have 0 and 1 right here. 0 is to turn your dynamic input off. Kung 0, kung 1, imo i-turn on ang imong dynamic input. So if you want to turn on your dynamic input, then type 1 and then enter. Then, tanawa, we now have this dynamic input. Understood? Yes, that's very important para na ay guide, na mo'y guide ini kuan. Sige, balik ta sa line. abot na matag layo. In order to make a line, mo follow ta sa command line ha. Sige, adto ta sa shortcut na to. L, enter. Now you are asked for the first point. To specify your first point, you have 2 options. You can specify the coordinates of your first point. Diba, I think you are familiar with the coordinate system, kanang X and Y coordinates, in which we are here right now. Na X and Y dire, diba? So, to use this coordinate system, kibaw na ta nga, mag 0, 0 siguro, 1, 0, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, and so on. So, that is what we're going to do right now. Let's say that our first point will be at the coordinates 2, 2. So how are we going to input 2, 2 in this workspace para ang first point sa imong drawing will be on 2, 2. Basically, all you have to do is to type 2, 2. And then after you have typed that one, press enter. And as you can see, your first point is now locked on 2, 2. And this is what you call the rubber band effect, wherein your first point is now fixed at a certain point. And the second point mo na po nang gi-ask na po sa imong command line. Ang imong command line, nangunguta na specify next point. So now, we want to specify our second point to be at 10, 2. From the origin na, ha? But, tanawa ni, if we are going to type 10, 2 directly, mao ni ang mahitabo. Diba we expect that 10, 2 will be a straight horizontal line. But ang nahitabo diri kay na-incline naman lagi. Ngano man na? Because, in default, AutoCAD uses relative coordinates. In which, ang pasabutan ng relative coordinates, after you have inputted the first point, ang AutoCAD iya na idiretso nga ang kanang first point nimo mauna na ang imong origin. I-assume na niya dayon. Okay, mao na atong giingon nga relative coordinate. So, para mas straight di siya nga horizontal line, if we assume that the first point now is the origin, all we have to do para nabutang siya sa 10, 2 with respect sa origin jud nga x and y, ato i-type is 8, 0. And there we have it. So, nga na straight na siyang horizontal line because it is assumed that our origin is located at the first point. So, mga itong relative coordinate. We also have absolute coordinate. Sige, ako ragi undo. Ako ragi undo ha, Control Z. Let's have this absolute coordinate na po. Unsa naman po ning absolute coordinate? Kung mo yung absolute coordinate, kung magbutang ka nga sign, idiretso na og sabot sa imong AutoCAD nga ang imong ganahan nga coordinate nga basihan is from the x and y nga origin. Dili yang katong sa first point nimo. So, in order for you to apply absolute coordinate, ang imong buhaton mag-hashtag ka. Nigbutan nimo hashtag, diretso po dayon kag type, 'di ba? Ganahan ta ang second point kay nato sa 2 ay unsa to 10, 2. So, 10, 2. So there you have it. Same sila og length atong akong gi-input kaganiha, but lahi nga paagi ang atong gigamit. Ang kadtong isa, relative coordinate, and kaning akong gi-apply karon is your absolute coordinate. I hope that you have grasped the idea of that one. So that is the first method in order for you to create a line. We have also another one. Ang kaning isa, well, imo lang magpisit lang ka randomly. So for example, L. Unya, pisit lang ka bisag asa. Unya, next point, next point, next point, next point. Click, click, click. And then kung humana ka, happy na kasi mong himo, escape. Okay, nice ni siya nga pamaagi. Especially if we already knew object snaps. Pero if wala pa ta naka-discover ng object snap, which is wala pa pun mo ka-discover kay wa pa man namo gitudlo ninyo, then the lengths of these lines and the straightness of this line, the horizontalness or verticalness of these lines is not reliable. Kay basin di ay maghimo mog line, kita ani, maghimo mog line nya inyo na tansyaon pag tan-aw nga straight na siya. But unfortunately, I'm so sorry to say, but that's not right. You cannot just create a straight line by just looking closely to it. Okay? Unless you already know object snaps. Polar tracking, ortho mode, makahibaw mo ana later. Okay? So, that is how you are going to create a line. Take note atong absolute and relative coordinates ha, because that will be applied to everything that we'll be discussing this morning. Now, for example, karon na pod, ganahan ko nga specific ang iyang length, pero magbuot lang ko sa iyang angle. So, ano na to? Nga to lang buhaton ana, line, and then let's say ang first point is random lang. But karon, ganahan ko nga specific ang length sa atong line. Let's say 15. Nag-type ka 15, ayaw i-enter. Okay? But ang imo lang buhaton is i-tab nimo. So karon nakalock na ang imong line 15 units. Okay? So, karon nangutana na po siya. Unsa man nga angle imong ganahan? Ganahan ba kag 30 degrees? Sige, ato yung 30 degrees. Type nimo 30 degrees and then enter. So there you have it. You have a line that has a length of 15 and that is inclined from your x-axis about 30 degrees. Understood? You can also have this option wherein you can just specify the angle pero unya na nimo i-specify ang length. For example, nag-line up ka. First point, bisag asa lang, karon ako constant ang angle. So, unsa ato buhaton? Ato i-type ang greater than, less than, whatever. So, nag-type ko ana and then 30 nag-enter ko. Nag-enter ko ato ha. Karon nakalock na ang imong line dira sa atong 30 degrees. Again, that is from the x-axis. Nga angle. Understood. So, that is how you draw a line. To supplement your knowledge in making a line, para di na mo maglisod sige, ato lang ni diretso, I have here ortho mode and polar tracking. Unsa man ang ortho mode o polar tracking? So, ang atong ortho mode o polar tracking, nakita na siya diri sa atong bottom right na corner sa atong workspace. And that one is actually your F8. And currently, wala man ni siya naka-blue, so naka-off na siya. So we have to click it and we now turn it on. Ang kaning ortho mode, ang gamit ani, malak ang imong line sa atong X and Y axis only. Okay? So, check this one. So if I'm going to make a first point, tanawa, nakalak ang atong line. Bisag asa na ako mag-hover sa akong mouse, ang atong line, it is only restricted on the 90-degree angle. How about polar tracking? Take note, you cannot turn on both ortho mode and polar tracking. Naalang kay dapat isa nga pilion. Ang kaling polar tracking, ang nakinindot ani, maka-move ka sa imong line everywhere. And tanawa, if I'm going to hover it near on the horizontal, you can see this green line. And then that will immediately snap your line horizontally. And kani, kung makita kaning green nga line, you can assure that the line you are making is perfectly horizontal. And i-move na po nimo sa vertical, you can see that this line is perfectly vertical. But we have also other options. Kani naka-snap lang ni siya sa atong 90 degrees. We can also have this 90, 180 to 70 to 60, 45, 90, 135, 180, 30, 60, 90. Let's try 30, 60, 90. So if I'm going to select the option 30, 60, 90, mulak ang imong line sa 0 degree. Mulak na po imong line sa 30 degrees. Mulak na po imong line sa 60 degrees. And mulak na po imong line sa 90 degrees. So that is how versatile your polar tracking is. And naay-convenience ang imong paggamit sa ortho mode ug naasay convenience ang imong paggamit sa polar tracking. So which one ever you want to choose, you want to do sa pagdraw sa imong drawing, then it's up to you. Okay, we're finally done sa atong lines. Murag nag-30 minutos ko nagtudlo og lines lang pastilan. Let's proceed to the next one. Wapaday gihapon ta naka-move on og lines. Kay naapatay another one kind of line. Natay polyline. Okay? Polyline is a kind of line that is a connected sequence of line segments. And they act as a single object. What does that mean? Sige, I'm going to create a series of lines using line command only. Sige, nag-L lang ko, enter, and then naghimo ko lines dire. And that's it. So, nakahimo ko ani. And another one, I'm going to create a polyline. They have the same function, pero naa sila'y key difference. Sige, to create a polyline, you either have to type polyline or the shortcut of that one is PL. So let's try PL. Or naapon na sa imong ribbon tab, which is this one, Polyline. Pero ang shortcut gani para sa mga expert, kung expert mo, PL dayon inyong gamiton. PL, enter, and then let's try to make the same shape that we have made before. And voila. Escape. So, what is the key difference of E-line and a polyline? Take note of this one. Look at this one. If I'm going to select a polyline, the whole connection of lines were selected. On the other hand, if I'm going to select a line dira sa tong line, you can only select that single line. In order for you to select everything, then you have to hover and cover all of those lines on the selection tool. Understood? Wala na yung difference atong line o polyline. And you have the same functions. And siguro tanaw nimo sa imong polyline, after nimo mag-specify sa first point, na kay option nga arc, half width, length, and width. So those things are not that important na. And you can just draw many things without using those commands. But if you want to learn these things more, then do it yourself. Hala day, line pa ko day, na-stress ko day. Now, before we proceed, how to delete these drawings I have? Well, basically, all you have to do is to select these objects. Kung gingadto na ko, will everything be deleted? Sige, if I'm going to press delete, mabilin ang duha ka lines. Why again? Because the left drawing is made of lines. So whenever I'm hovering my mouse from this portion only, it doesn't include these two, the up and down. So all you have to do is to select everything, to cover everything. So that you can, once you press delete, you can delete everything of it. Understood? So now, let's proceed to how to make a circle. So basically, first, let's define a circle. It is basically a round plane figure whose boundary consists of points equidistant from a fixed point. We already know that one. We have a fixed point and there is a series of lines or points that is equidistant to that point, and if you're going to connect that one, you can create a circle. And in order for you to specify a circle, you must have at least two information: the center and the radius or its diameter. So how are you going to make a circle here in AutoCAD? So basically, the first method is you are going to look on the ribbon tab and press circle. Press circle here, and then you are now on the circle command. And the first thing that is asked on your command line is to specify the center of the circle. So again, you have two options to specify the center of a circle. One is to specify the coordinates, and let's just say, let's try 5, 5. And there we have the center of a circle, and now the radius or the diameter of the circle is varied now. So the second question that is now on your command line is to specify the radius of the circle. So if you know the radius of the circle, you just type immediately the radius of the circle, and let's just say that the radius of the circle is so. Okay, enter. So we have created a circle that its center is located at the coordinates 5, 5, and the radius of the circle is 2. Therefore, the diameter of the circle is 4. So now, we have another method in order for us to create a circle that is the same dimensions of the previous one that we have made. In this one, we are gonna create another circle again and type C and then enter. Oh no. I still have forgotten to how to use the command circle on the command line. So for a shortcut of your circle, all you have to do is to type circle, or the most shortcut one is for you to type the letter C. So if you're going to type the letter C and then enter, then you are now on the circle command. And now let's just say that the center of the circle is now located at 10, 5. So if I'm going to type input 10, 5, then after I press enter, then your center will now be at 10, 5. So let's just say I want to specify the diameter of the circle instead of its radius, and I still want to create that same circle I have on the left. And so how am I gonna specify its diameter? All you have to do is to either click this word diameter right here, or you can just type that blue highlighted letter there, type D and then enter. So now AutoCAD is now asking you for the diameter of the circle, as you can see on the command line. And as we all know, again, the radius of the previous circle is 2. So I want to specify now the diameter of the circle, which is now 4. And when I type 4, there I will have a circle that has a diameter of 4, and its center is located at 10, 5. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you like it, thumbs up, subscribe, and check the notification bell. Charot lang, bad kaita. Okay, so anyways, that is how you are going to create a circle. So those are the two methods. You want to specify the radius, or you want to specify the diameter of that circle. Okay, understood? Very easy, very easy. Now, there are other ways to create a circle. Dili lang kadtong nag-specify ka sa radius and diameter. You also have these other options. As you can see on the ribbon, there is a drop down on your circle panel. And when you're going to click that drop down, you can see other functions aside from your center radius and center diameter. So we also have this 2-point. We also have 3-point. We have Tantan Regions, and we also have Tantan. Okay, so let's try these 4 one by one. So let's first go to 2-point. Obviously, when you say 2-point, your command line only asks for 2 points of the circle, and basically the 2 points is the length of the diameter. Yeah. So let's say first point, ako lang random og butang bisag asa, click lang ko, and then as you can see, ang second point mao nang diameter sa circle. There are some instances that you can use this one. Okay? And there are some instances nga ang uban ang imong gamiton. So let's try another one. Let's try this 3-point. So basically, you have to specify 3 points of the circle. And just take note that these 3 points should actually lie on the circle. Sige, how? So first, ganita. First point, nag-click na ko sa ako first point. Second point is, let's say, at this point. And third point, now your circle will show up, and your first points and second points are now fixed. And now your third point, gipangutana na sa imong AutoCAD. There. If you click that one, then you can create a circle. I don't know the dimensions of the circle, but I have just specified 3 points of the circle. You can either type the coordinates of that 3 points, and you can also just click at the desired point you want in order for you to define the 3 points of that circle. Another one, let's proceed to Tantan Regions. So what does Tantan mean? You have the word radius, and you already know the radius, and we have this Tantan. In order for you to use Tantan, you should have 2 lines. Let's just say these are my lines. Okay, I have these lines. And tantan actually means tangent, tangent. So your circle, what is asked here is, you have a circle and you want that circle to be tangent with these 2 lines, and you to make this circle tangent to the 2 lines, and you want to specify the radius of the circle. So if I'm going to select Tantan radius, then you're asked to select a point on an object on the first tangent nga object. So let's select this one. So gananin ko nga ang akong circle again will be tangent to this line, so I'm going to select this line first. Then AutoCAD again, your command line again ask for another point of an object that is the second tangent of your circle. And let's say this one is the second tangent of my circle. And now you're asked for the radius of the circle. And let's say that the radius of my circle will be 3. And as I enter this one, there, I have this circle that is tangent to these 2 lines. As you can see, probably you will think that, ngalawa, malagi ni na igo, sir. Of course, because, ato tanawon ha, if mas gamay ni ang akong circle nga himuon, so let's just say, ang radius na ito karon is 2. Then, as you can see, wa na siya sa atong lines. What happened to this one? Actually, if you're going to extend these lines, you will realize that these lines are still tangent to your circle. Wala dyan siya na tunong kay gamay lang kaya itong radius. So, there you have it. If you correctly inputted or sakto ang imong radius sa anang atong tangent lines, then you will have this one. First point, second point, and the radius of the circle, let's just say 4. Then, we perfectly have that circle and have it tangent to our 2 lines. Again, what is the radius of the circle? The radius of the circle is 4. And it is tangent to these 2 lines. So that's how you are going to apply Tantan radius. And how about if you are going to apply Tantan? Tan. So, basically, kung mo yung kag Tan, all the sides of the circle must be tangent to 3 points of objects. Let's just say I have here a triangle. A triangle na. And I want my circle to be tangent to all these sides of this triangle. Ito na po, girl. So, what am I gonna do? All I need to have is to have the tan command, which I'm going to select click, click, and click. So after I click, automatic mo appear ang imong circle. So that's how you do those things. That's how easy making a circle is. Okay, understood? Random trivia. Sir, kaganiya ba, nagsiko kog drawing og mga circle, sir? Nya, katong nag-specify ko og point nga 2, 2. Nya, nag-specify ko sa iyang diameter nga 5. Nya, paghimo na ko, sir, kay wala man ang pakita. Unsa may nahitabo? Ngano nagpakita ako nya sa inyo kay wa man? There is something wrong with your AutoCAD. You have to throw it away. You have to throw your laptop. Charot. Ang imo lang problem ano is probably you have zoomed out your drawing too far. So how are you going to go back to the drawing that you have before? All you have to do is, mga tong gitudlo ni Mama Bea, you have to zoom. How? Diba na ito gitudlo si Ma'am na zoom to extents, zoom to whatever. So let's try zoom to extents. So that, para mo zoom ang atong drawing dito sa atong drawing. How can you do that? Zoom ta, Z. Shortcut sa zoom is Z. Shortcut sa pan is P. Okay? Enter. And then, you have your choice extents. And there you have it. You are now on your circle. Pero, and there are also some instances nga. In-zoom extents ni mo. Huwag ka po na pukita. Probably, siguro, nagsige mong drawing atong nag-zoom pa mo. Nya karon in-zoom extents ninyo, nag-draw mo first dire dapit sa atong origin. Nya ang sunod ninyo nga drawing, nag-draw mo arang layua dire sa atong origin. And sa iyang pag-zoom, iya giapil ang duha ninyo ka drawing. That's why walay nagpakita. Sabi ninyong buhaton, inyong i-clear ang inyong gi-drawing. As you can see, mao ni atong gipang drawing. Kana ug kana. So we have to delete that one. And your drawing now is cleared. Nawa ninyong drawing actually. Pero moto, just take note of that one. If you can see your drawing, probably your drawing is zoomed out very much. So ang imong button, again, you can use a zoom extents for you to see your drawing. Okay, that's just a short trivia. And now let's proceed to our third object. Your third object is your arc. So let's define arc. Arc is basically a portion of the circumference of a circle. So what does that mean? It is just a circle and imo lang gikuha ang part ana nga circle, and that part is now your arc. So it still requires the same pa sa imong circle. It requires your center and it requires your radius or diameter. But in this case, since part lang siya sa circle, then it also specify probably a first point and a second point. So how can you do the arc command? For you to be able to do the arc command, you just look at the ribbon tab and there you have an arc. Okay? Click arc, and in default, ang imong arc nga himuon is just 3 points. So specify first point, specify second point, and specify third point. So you have two options in specifying your starting point. First is your coordinates, and second is just to choose the desired location kay imong ganahan. So ako lang i-choose ang second. Butang lang, click lang ko bisag asa. Click. Now, your command line asks now the second point of your arc. So let's just say gapon at wala ta nagamit og coordinates, but we're just clicking everywhere. So second point, click. And then now you have an arc na, and now it is asking for an endpoint. And click na pud ka. So there you have created an arc by using 3 points. Again, your 3 points is the default nga ipangayo sa imong AutoCAD nimo. But you again have another ways in creating your arc. Again, take note, circle ni siya dapat nga part sa circle. Dili siya hyperbola, dili siya parabola or whatever. Okay, circle ni siya, but again, gipahak nga circle. Okay, now, how can we do an arc in other methods? First, ato ta sa ribbon. Oh no, nakalimot ko ingon ninyo, shortcut sa atong arc is what? You can type ARC and then enter. You can also type A. And there, when you enter that, you are now on the arc. Again, in default, you are only asked for 3 points. So there are other methods in creating an arc. First is go to your drop-down sa imong arc, and then you will have a lot. So you have here start, center, end, start, center, angle, start, center, length. So basically, kaning ilang mga kamakama diri mao ning ilang pangayoon every step. So let's start diri sa. So let's start on our first one. We have start, center, end. So basically, AutoCAD or your command line is asking for the starting point of your line, of your arc. Click. Again, either coordinates or mag-click lang ka. And now, you are asked on the center point. Sa ganun na center point, di ba? Kaya again, ang arc is a part of a circle. So, ang kanang center point nga gigamit ana, ang center sa imong circle. So, let's just say, ang center sa itong circle is located right here. Okay, and nalang tayo siya, ang ato siguro ang diameter, ang nagpakita diya is 6.7 na, asam to? 6.6999. So, makuntay na atong radius. And that is the center of your arc. So now, you're asked the end point of your arc. Okay, so asa daw ang second point. So, bisag asa ka mag-hover sa imong mouse, naka-fix na jud na ang distance sa atong second point from the center of this circle. Okay? So, as you are going to click this one, then you have that arc. Or, on the other hand, if bali ang imong ganan nga direction, just press Control. So, when you press Control, ilong press ha, mabali ang direction sa imong pag-arc. But again, in default, it rotates on the counterclockwise direction. Okay, so let's proceed. How about start center angle? Okay, basically, ato lang jud i-follow ang command line. Mao lang jud natong buhaton. Karon nangutan na siya sa atong starting point. So start point sa atong arc. Karon nangutan na siya sa center. So let's say this is the center of your circle. And now, included angle. What is this? So, as you can see, there is a broken line that is created, diba? And you notice nga na arc nga naa sa opposite side. And notice again, the angle of our broken line from the x-axis. And nagibutang dira 41, unya karon nag 33 na pod, unya nag 25. So, basically, that is the angle of your arc from the center sa iyang starting point padung sa iyang ending point. Kung ako i-press ang control, mo ning mahitabo. Okay? So, ingana lang siya. Unsa may nahitaboan na? Di ba? This is the center of your arc. And if we're going to create a circle, asa tong atong arc, mao ning atong arc, and basically this points right here and right here. And the angle you have right here is that angle nga gipasabot dito sa imong angle sa imong arc. Motong iyang gipangayo. Okay? Start center length. Unsa ra po ring length? Let's check. Again, you are asked for the starting point, and next you are asked for the center point, and unsa ra po ring length? Man siya. Basically, your length is your chord. The length of your chord. So, as you can see, kung ako na idool dira, mao na ang iyang estimate nga length sa tong chord. And kung ang imong chord, ang length sa imong chord mo exceed na sa diameter, mawala na imong circle. So, take note, the length of your chord should be shorter than the diameter of your circle in order for you to create the start, center, and length. Okay? Again, the length is ang imong chord length, the length of the chord. And once I click that one, then I have that one. Okay, understood? So, let's proceed to the next function of our arc. Let's go to start and angle. So now, you're asked for the starting point, the ending point, and the arc. And the angle, I mean. So again, your angle is your included angle of the start and end points of that arc. So starting point, ending point, and now, unsa man nga angle. Again, included angle ni. Take note, ang iyang angle gipasabot ani refers from the x-axis. So ayog tan-awa ang intensity sa atong curve, but tan-awa nimo ang angle from the x-axis. So unsay pasabot ana? The greater the angle from the x-axis, then of course, the smaller the circle. Mao nang nagtika dako yang curve. Pero the smaller the angle I have here, there is akong from the x-axis, as you can see, the flatter your curve is. Na lang. Just discover that one and look, unsay relationship sa aning atong paglihok-lihok ani sa iyang pagka curve. Let's proceed. Start and direction. Ang kaning start and direction, bag una pud ni, unsa na po ning direction, now it only asks for you the start and the end. And karon unsa man ning direction? Direction is actually the line that is tangent. Take note, the line that is tangent to your first point. So, as you can see, ang kaning atong broken line, this is always tangent aning atong circle nga gihimo. And kung ako i-move akong broken line clockwise, then nagtikad ako ang atong circle. Kung i-move na ako ang akong broken line counterclockwise, clockwise na dahil ni, wala bali dahil ito ako gisulti kang niha, then, may nga na mahitabo. Okay? So, ingana lang. Again, it is the tangent line from your first point. How about start and radius? So, di nang ko magkuha na ni, nangayo siya sa imong start point, nangayo siya sa imong end point, and nangayo siya sa imong radius. Kano sa man siya dili mo gana? If ang radius ng imong gihatag mas gamay compared sa radius sa half sa distance sa imong start ug end. Okay, understood? How about the center start end? You're first asked for the center of the arc. Second, you are asked for the start point of the arc and the end point of the arc. Ano lang. Center start angle. You're asked for the center of the arc. You are also asked for the start point of the arc and the angle, the included angle. Ito akong gi-discuss kaganiha. Center start length. What is center start length? Then again, you're asked for the center of the circle of the arc. You're asked for the starting point of that arc, and you're asked for the length, the chord length of the arc. Understood? Wala na, gikapoy na ko sige drawing dire oy mga pare-pareha ra man silang tanan. Again and again, all you have to do is to read the command line because it is where the steps on how to create your drawings are shown. Let's proceed to the next one. Gitapol na ko no, pasensya jud. Natay continue dire, unsay pasabotan ning continue? Wala ko kasabot unsa nang continue, so just discover it yourself. Yes, and let's now proceed to closed objects. What are closed objects? Well, of course, the starting point of a line will coincide to the ending point of the line, and that will create a closed object. Examples of closed object, ay nakahimo naman tayo closed object kaganiya. Circle, rectangle, ellipse, polygon. So, how are we going to create rectangle? How are we gonna create polygon and an ellipse? So, let's first create a rectangle. So, basically, if you know how to create a rectangle, you also know how to create a square. Okay? Okay. Well, a square is a rectangle, but a square has equal sides. That's the difference between the two. So let's first define what is a rectangle. A rectangle is a plane figure with 4 straight sides and 4 right corners. You already know that. Straight ang iyang sides, and ang kanang mga sides niya, they are 90 degrees from each other. Especially one with an equal adjacent sides. Kaya imagine na mo, ana. Okay. We have again 2 ways in order for us to go to the rectangle command. First is to again look at the ribbon. And as you can see, kaning atong symbol dire nga kaning rectangle, this is your rectangle command. If I'm going to click that one, then I am now on the rectangle command. As you can see, sa atong command line, you're now asked for the first corner. So another method in commanding a rectangle, all you have to do is to type rectangle. Then you have that one. Rectangle ako na type. Also, to shorten it up more, you have rectang. To shorten it up even more, you have rec. And now as you are going to enter this one, you are now on the rectangle command. So what are the steps in order for you to make a rectangle? Again, just read the command line wherein you have to specify the first corner. So now, the edge of your rectangle, the first edge of your rectangle is fixed at a certain point. In this case, again, random lang akong pag-click, but again, you can specify its coordinates by typing katong akong giingon kaganiha. And now you are asked to specify the other corner point, in which you can again type the coordinates, or you can just randomly type everywhere. Then there you have it. You have a rectangle. But how about you want to specify the length and the width of the rectangle? Well, basically, just read the command line. Again, rec, enter. Specify first corner. I have now clicked on the first corner. And as you have clicked the first corner, look again on your command line. You have a bracket there. Diba? Ang gisulti dira, specify other corner, point, or, and na bracket. You have area, dimension, and rotation. Unsa man ang area? Then, of course, the area of that rectangle will be specified. And then you will be asked for either length or the width of that rectangle. Okay? Ang imong dimension, mao na to ako giingon kaganiha, you will be asked for the length and the width of that rectangle. How about the rotation? Mao ni ang inclination sa imong rectangle from the x-axis. So let's try each one. Ato ta si area. Type A or pislit nimo ang kaning area nga word. Pero ato lang button karon kay professional man ta, type A, enter. And then you are asked for the area of the rectangle. Let's just say that the area of our rectangle is 50. Okay, 50. Enter. And now, since na makay-fix nga area, di na siya mangutana both length and width. Mangutana lang siya either length or width. So ato isulti, ato specify ang length. And now you are going to enter the length of the rectangle. Let's just say 10. Enter. So there, you have a rectangle that has an area of 50, in which you specify the length of the rectangle to be 10, and automatically, your AutoCAD has computed that the width of your rectangle is 5. Okay? Another method is to specify its dimensions. You don't have to give the area, but you only have to give them the length and the width of that rectangle. So, go back to rectangle, enter, specify first corner, and then look at the command bar. You have seen there the word dimension. You can either click dimension or you can just type D and then enter. And now, nawala imong rectangle because you are asked for the length of the rectangle. Let's just say the length of our rectangle is 10. Enter, and then the width of your rectangle is 5. Wala pa ta nahuman because nangutana pa siya asa dapit nako ibutang ang rectangle. Kaya di ba ang gi-specify ra ani kay ang first endpoint, ang first corner, ang first vertex sa natong rectangle, pero wala pa ta kibaw kung asa ang second nga vertex sa natong rectangle. So we can just hover our mouse and then choose kung asa dapat nato ibutang ang kaning rectangle. And in my case, I'm just clicking it right here. Click. And then I have this rectangle. This rectangle again has a length of 10 and a width of 5. I didn't specify the area because I only specified both length and width. Last one is your rotation. So how is your rotation? How does your rotation work? So, ato ta. First corner, and then now let's proceed to rotation. Click R, type R, enter. And now, karon gipangutana ka unsay rotation na ni atong kuan. Your rectangle is asking you for an angle. Let's just say the rotation angle is 30 degrees. So then now your rectangle is inclined 30 degrees from the x-axis. And now, gibalik na pud ka sa question. Area and dimension. Manam ka sa rotation, so you can either choose area or dimension. And take note again ha, inimaghimo na po kag rectangle sa imong sunod nga command, incline na dyan na siya kanunay. So in order for it to put it back to its original nga form, ato ibalik sa rotation, and then specify nga ang angle is now 0, enter. And nabalik na siya sa original. Okay? So, let's proceed. Look at the command line after you have entered the letter R. R, and rec, enter. Nagipangutana nila, chamfer, elevation, fillet, thickness, and width. Well, basically, sa imong chamfer, ang edges sa imong rectangle is sliced. Okay? So, na-slice ang imong rectangle. Let's just try chamfer. And then, i-discuss rin na mo sunod ha. Ako lang mo itagag overview. So, chamfer distance is 2 and 2. So, you have this one. Morning chamfer, gislice ang imong edges. you're asked for the chamfer distance. Ang chamfer distance, mao nang distance from the vertex of one side to the side of your kuan. So ako gisulti dito kay 2 man, ang first distance, ang second distance 2 gihapon, so equal ang distance sa atong pag-slice. Pero pwede ka maka-specify nga ang distance is lahi. Okay? So man atong chamfer. Ang atong fillet, kaning fillet, sa man F. Pare-pareha po niya sa chamfer. But instead, sa atong chamfer, gi-slice siya, ang fillet, iya gi-smoothen. Iya gi-round. So, and ang gipangay diri sa atong fillet is radius. Ang gipangay sa chamfer, first distance ug second distance. Ang sa fillet, radius. So let's just say ang radius is 2. And first corner and second corner. So there you have it. Your rectangle lang is filleted. So questions, nag-discover mo diha sa fillet. Sir, ngano man ni inig-rectang fillet na ko, unya ako gi-specify nga 2 ang kuan. Himo na ko, ngano rectangle man? Because again, your drawing is super zoomed out. So in order for you to know that your rectangle is filleted, you have to zoom in that one. And you can discover that your rectangle is filleted. Okay? Just take note nga mo na atong mga kasayupan usahay. Ma-zoom out na natong maayo ang atong drawing and we can't see the details of our drawing if, again, it is zoomed out. So, that is how you create a rectangle. And now, let's proceed to our 6th object. Hapit na ito mahuman! Ha! Kakapoy! Let's proceed to polygons. So, let's first define polygons. Polygons are 2-dimensional shapes with straight sides. Okay? In AutoCAD, polygons are assumed to be regular polygons. So, saan pasabutan na regular polygons? Regular polygons are those polygons whose sides are all equal. Okay? So, kung man ka og polygon diri sa AutoCAD, diretso, automatic nga iya ang assume nga regular polygon imong gipangayo. Okay? And, how can you create a polygon? There are 2 ways for you to have the polygon command. First is, balik ta dito sa atong ribbon, naka sa rectangle. Adto ka sa right, and ay makitaan drop down. And there is a polygon. So, that is the first way for you to command a polygon. Second, type na punta. We can type polygon. Okay? Or pol. Okay? So, now, when I create a polygon, moni pangutana. Una, look at the command bar. It asks for the number of sides. And kung imong ipahimo kay 4 sides, what does it make? Square. Obviously. But since square is so very overused na, let's try pentagon. 5. So the number of sides, I specified it to be 5. After I pressed enter, you're asked to specify the center of the polygon. And again, you can specify the center of a polygon by either inputting the coordinates or just pressing wherever, whatever. So, sige. Press lang ta. Kung man na press, you are asked. Papili o na pud ka. Gusto magpili, no, char. You are asked if your polygon is inscribed or circumscribed on a circle. So basically, all polygons are either inscribed or circumscribed in a circle. Before we continue, let's have these 2 circles. These 2 circles have the same dimensions. Okay? These 2 circles again have the same dimensions, and I want to differentiate a polygon that is inscribed in a circle and is circumscribed in a circle. When you say a polygon is inscribed in a circle, then again, number of sides is 5 and specify the center of the polygon. Ni-snap to, kay naon ang akong center nga object snap. So, kung wala na object snap dira sa inyo, discover it yourself. or just wait for the discussion of that one. Okay, if it is inscribed in a circle, then as you can see, the vertex of your polygon is located where the cursor is. Okay? And you're asked for the radius of the circle. And given that the radius of the circle is 5, then, if ako na input og 5, then you have this polygon that is inscribed in a circle. Pasabot again, inscribed, naa siya sa sulod sa circle. Wala siya sa gawas. And another one, itong circumscribed. So when you say circumscribed, your polygon is outside the circle. So asa man dapit ang imong cursor karon. So balik ta. Polygon, number of sides 5, center of polygon, circumscribed na karon. And again, ang atong circle diri has a radius of 5. So let's just say that the radius of this circle is 5. And there you have it. You have created a polygon that is circumscribed on a circle. So those are the two ways in creating a polygon by using a circle, either circumscribed or inscribed. And you also have another method of creating a polygon in which you are gonna specify the length of a side of a polygon. Saan man na? Ato kasa, polygon nga command. Ano man ako ilong katulman. Then now you are asked for the number of sides, 5. And then, look at your command bar. It is said, specify center of polygon or naka-bracket dara edge. So choose edge. So now, you're asked what is the length of the edge of the polygon. So, first endpoint of the edge and second endpoint of the edge of the polygon. So, karon, ikaw ang nagbuot sa length sa edge sa polygon. Okay, understood. So, that is how you are going to create a polygon. In this case, I only have taught you how to make a pentagon. But, it's easy to discover hexagon, heptagon, octagon, nonagon, decagon, dodecagon, tridecagon, fourdecagon, whatever decagon. Okay? So, let's proceed to the last object. Let's proceed to ellipse. So, basically, ellipse is defined as a plane section of a right circular cone that is a closed curve. Siguro nakahinomdom mo dito sa atong trigonometry man, algebra. Ambot, okay baw. Nga, nakay cone, mag-slice ka pa, nga na, and then ang kanang nahimo nga shape dira, anong ellipse. So, di ba you already know that there are parts of an ellipse. Nakahinomdom mo nga natin major axis and minor axis. And kung asa na, dapit nag-touch ang atong minor axis o major axis sa atong ellipse, mo na yung gitawag ng vertices. So, mao lang na atong kailangan nga information para makahimot ang ellipse. In order for you to command an ellipse sa atong AutoCAD, all you have to do is to go to, again, your ribbon, and nakakay nakitaan nga ellipse diha nga command. So, click that one, and then, now, as usual, you're asked for the center of the ellipse. So, again, natay duha ka paagi para sa center sa ellipse. Di na ako magbalik-balik adto. Center of ellipse, that one. And now, karon nangutan na siya sa isa ka axis. Either major axis or minor axis kay unya pa man ka makibaw kung major axis imong gikuan or minor axis or ikaw magbuot. So, first endpoint of our ellipse, ako lang ni ortho mode. First endpoint of your ellipse, money. So, let's say, mo kung tayo ng major axis sa atong ellipse. And ang second, ang minor axis is money. Okay? So, ang center sa atong ellipse na locate diri. And then, ako gi-specify ang length sa atong ang ani nga distance, ang length ani nga distance. We can either input the value or we can just click wherever. And after you have entered that one, then you are again asked for another length of the axis, which is either your major or minor axis depending kung asa mas taas. So, input nimong value, enter, and then you have your ellipse. So, pamalain pagi sa paghimong ellipse. We have axis and end. So, po ni? Specify axis and point of ellipse. So, isa ka axis, either major or minor axis, click. And then, other endpoint of axis. So, mauni nga, same axis, but ang endpoint niya. And now, nanguta na siya sa isa na pod ka axis. Understood? And, elliptical arc. I don't usually use that, but it's an arc. But instead of having a circle, ellipse ang may mong gigamit. Okay, so those are the basic or the fundamental shapes that you should be taking note of in drawing your 2D objects. So, you have learned how to create a line, a polyline, a circle, an arc, a rectangle, a polygon, and an ellipse. So, I hope that everything that I've taught you, everything that I've shown you for this discussion, you were able to understood. And again, you have taken note that daghan pa kay kog wala na tudlo atong mga functions. Because again, you have to read the command line. Because it is where you're asked kung unsay ganahan nimo i-specify for your object nga imong ganahan i-draw. I hope that you have learned a lot for this lesson. This lesson is a bit long, but I hope that you have enjoyed the discussion. That will be all for this morning. And be prepared for our first laboratory exercise in how to draw 2D objects. Also, an announcement, if you still don't know your groups, it is posted on our Moodle classroom, and it is also posted probably on your respective Facebook groups. And again, take note that for our laboratory exercises, you only have a week to finish those. So if you don't have any other questions, but if you do, please don't hesitate to contact us via probably Messenger or via the comment section on this video or whatever method you want. And I hope that you'll be having a great week this week, and see you again on the next one. Peace!